think with the fundamentals, with going back to those fundamentals, if a student can fillet a fish cleanly and can pin bone it and can skin it if necessary, or score it or whatever, that is a fundamental skill that can be applied to French cuisine, Spanish cuisine, Oriental cuisine. Then you've got the excitement of learning from different cultures in terms of how they then take those next steps going forward. So I think there's another opportunity there for the colleges and industry to understand that it doesn't just have to come from the repertoire in terms of this dish must be completed in this way. It can be utilising those skills of filleting, etc. If we're going to steam a fish, why don't we steam a fish in an Oriental style? There's similarities between things like en papillote and the way that certain Chinese dishes might be steamed, etc. So I think it's really exciting, but with those really grassroots skills and that passion and those technical skills that you can put together, then the world's in the hands of those students. The world's their oyster in terms of what type of cuisine they want to go into. And I think you'll find on most menus there'll be some fusion and some ideas and some commodities and flavours and skills that chefs have picked up from working with a variety of skills from different types of cuisine, that they round their own knowledge, and then they have that freedom of expression that they can then put into their own type of cooking. Birds are birds. They're just different sort of sizes and structures, and they are commonly used. Chicken is a very versatile and very commonly used commodity within the industry, but it's what you do with it. So I would, we've done this with Hayden Grows, for example, during the summer. I said to Hayden, okay, here's chicken. Here's the students have to breadcrumb this chicken. They have to pan it, they have to break it down, etc., etc. How would you produce a dish or garnishes to a dish that would utilise these skills but not turn it into a classic sort of chicken Kiev or a chicken cut for sauté or something like that? And that's exactly what we did. So we utilised the products, we utilised the skills and techniques, and brought that together to show how those things could be adapted into a more contemporary practice. We also have to remember that everything seems to go round in a trend as well. So even though I've just mentioned chicken Kiev, if you look at the menu at the Hand and Flowers, Tom Kerridge has got a chicken Kiev on, and he has the chicken Kiev in other restaurants as well. So it can be maligned in one case, but also reinvigorated and reinvented in another. So we have to be mindful that nothing truly goes out of fashion. Well, an ideal student needs to have a real fundamental platform of skills and attitudes and knowledge. Too often there's a focus on the niceties of cookery in terms of what hits the plate and how aesthetically pleasing it is to the eye. But it's quite superficial. And there needs to be much more focus on sound, technique, understanding, flavour profiles, seasoning, learning about commodities, and those type of things. And too often these basic fundamentals are missed, and it's then clearly evident when somebody goes into a kitchen, they're asked to do something relatively straightforward that most people would think would be covered and can fall down. So it's really essential, in my opinion, to get those fundamental skills, techniques, but also that behaviour, understanding of the industry, so that students can go in with the right attitude, the right sort of perception of what's about to, how their career is going to unfold, and use that platform, that fundamental platform, to build their career from. As well as students just basically following a recipe, for example, they've got to understand what's happening. And then there's been so much innovation from chefs over the last 20 years more, that really are utilising these bases, but in a really exciting and innovative way. So there's nothing wrong. Again, with a strawberry or raspberry tart, beautiful. It's the creme diplomat in the middle, or a creme chantilly, or whatever. But it's about understanding how these base products are made, but then how they can be taken forward into different ways that will meet what's happening in the industry. Because some of the products that students are learning at college are perhaps not the right ones in terms of what they'll be doing when they hit a pastry kitchen in the industry.